Hey guys, it's Gui-Nu and this is another video. So this is my other thing that I'm doing. This is going to be the new Norse mythology series. I'm going to start on this book called Norse mythology, and we're going to go down. I have series, I have books for you guys that I'm going to do, so this is what I'm starting on. The first book is Norse mythology, tales of gods, sagas, and heroes. This book is by many authors that come in. This is what the front cover looks like. It's by Abby Farewell Brown, Sarah Powers Brandish, Mary Lynch, and others. It's a Norse mythology, tales of gods and heroes book. I bought this book at Barnes and Nobels, so if you guys want to pick it up, it is here. It was about $20 to $24, I think so. So if you want to buy this book, it is kind of expensive, but it's a great book to learn about Norse mythology if you love it. So the thing I love about Norse mythology is because it's about a place, it's in Europe. If you don't know what it is, Norse mythology is centered around Europe and the European part of Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Norway, and also kind of Iceland. Norse people were the people that lived up in the Icelandic areas of the world, technically mainly in Europe. And these people lived up here. They were Vikings. Vikings were kind of, in the middle type of people. They raided villages. They did many things. They mainly attacked Great Britain, I believe. I don't know much about that part right now. I'm still how old I am. I haven't gotten into all that. I'm not in college, so I don't know about mythology. But so far we know that they were Vikings. They were raiders sometimes, and they were also explorers. They lived in homes in the Icelandic areas. They lived in ships. The main things that surround Icelandic things are How to Train Your Dragon and the dragon movies. If you guys know about that, they talk about, or they theme around Norse people and Icelandic living. So if you want to just watch a movie or love Norse or mythology and stuff, I suggest you watch How to Train Your Dragon or Norse mythology movies. There's some and the Norse way, it's for you, I guess. I don't know much about that movie. And in this series, I do want to tell you before I go any further that I am going to be learning about teaching and learning and reading on Norse mythology, Egyptian mythology, I guess European mythology. I don't know if they have European mythology other than the basic ones. Greek mythology, Native American mythology, Asian mythology, South American mythology, and African mythology. So if you guys want to know anything about other mythologies, I'm here. But I also want to tell you that I am not an expert on these things. I do not know everything there is to know about mythology, but I'm just a person that really loves and adores mythology and reading and writing about it, and it's fascinating to me more than anything. So I'm not the specialist. I can't teach you something that I don't know. But if you want to learn, maybe out of a book with me, what I know, if you're a first learner, right here. So as you can see right here, this is it. This is the context and everything about it. Thor's journey to get to Kettle for Egar, Lynchfield. I cannot pronounce these words, so if you are a Norse mythology teacher, learner, anything like that, and I am not pronouncing these words correctly, please, in the description or comments below, please tell me if I'm saying it wrong. And I'm sorry, so sorry if I'm getting this wrong. I'm really actually sorry. And Giant's House, Brown. I guess these are by who made it. Brown is Marilyn Brown. The Binding of Winch. It goes in this way. So it starts off with this, which I'm reading now. Tales from the sagas. It's going to go down to this, like King Olaf, the Saint. These are real stories, and they're not like the fairy tale ones that you get over here, sagas. And then to the next page, you see a volcano, an iceberg. I actually didn't get that before when I read this, but it's an iceberg and it goes down. This is the introduction. I read this as well. The legendary tales of Norse gods, Odin, Thor, Loki, and their champions, as they fight amongst each other, battle fierce enemies, and meddle with troublesome humans, are some of the most entertaining and fascinating stories of all mythology. Their names remain with us in these days of the week. For example, Wednesday is Woden's Day. Woden began as an alternative name from Odin. The myths and legends of Norsemen were shared all by the Germanic people of the Europe, and provide a unique alternative to the two competing cultures of the continent. In the early centuries CE, increasingly powerful and prospective Christianity, and the slowly fading, if widely known, tales of Greek, Roman, and mythology. So what I forgot to really say about this, which I haven't done every part of research. I mainly research Greek, so sorry to all the Norse people. I'm still working on that. I'm going to search it up. But there is a part of Norse mythology that does include Greece. That does include German people. I've cautiously rolled into Norse mythology just because it's such a mythology and the culture of Norsemen and the parts of Norway and Finland, Sweden, and all that, they kind of do have this aura to me about them that says it's good and it's a great story, but it does fall under the eyes of darkness sometimes. And I feel like Norse mythology is incredible. You know, people watch movies like Marvel with Thor and Loki and Odin, and it's amazing that they do that. But sometimes when I think about it, are they really showing the perspective of the people that made the stories, or people who interpreted the stories? I can't say much about that, I'm sorry. Also, I forgot to tell you that there is Roman mythology. I totally forgot about that. Sorry to all the Romanian people. I love mythology. I love fairy tales and stories, and actually we are going to get to our next book that is mostly about fairy tales, not about mythology, personally. But I do enjoy watching mythologies, movies, and books, and doing all that stuff. But I do sometimes forget that there are many mythologies within Europe, Africa, South America, maybe even Australia, and other places. I know that's true. And I'm still working on that. I do not know for sure of all of the mythologies. And actually, I wanted to say that the reason why I'm outside, which makes absolutely no sense half the time to me, and probably to everyone that's probably even watching this, is because I kind of just felt like, hey, I'm starting on North mythology. You know, up there is pretty cold. That's why they call it Icelandic, and that's why there's an iceberg. But I was like, oh, it's at the end of winter. I'm in Alaska, so it's cold, and everybody in Alaska knows that it stays snowing until it's, I don't know. I just got here like 2 years ago, so that's what I say. But in that, I want to say that I will do my best to properly care for the mythology. I do not want to offend any cultures, any ethnicities, any religions, anything. I do not want to do that in this thing book review that I'm doing on mythology, because I know that mythology is tied to many cultures, a lot of truths, and that's what I say all the time actually to myself, is that every fairy tale, every story, every myth is tied to a truth, no matter how incredibly weird it seems, no matter how it's far-stretched, it is always tied to a truth, because no one can make up a story without the truth. There wouldn't be queens and kings and princesses and dragons if no one thought that it might be real. There wouldn't be unicorns and flying men if no one thought it was true. If no one had seen something, if no one had believed deeply that there was something causing this. So I do not want to offend any cultures. I don't want to make a mistake, but I do make mistakes, and I'm not a professional, so I hope I do the best I can. Let's go through the book now. Over to the next part of the book. This is Tales from, sorry if I get this wrong, sorry. Tales from Edas. I'm going to turn it around later. Tales from Edas. As you see, this is like a hammer. I don't know if it's a hammer, but I see birds on the side, like a falcon or a phoenix. Yes, I know what phoenix is. Okay. I will read this to you guys. This is the introductory page. It's told by Mary Lynchfield. Sorry if I got that wrong. It's just talking about the starting. So let me read. Our ancestors, who lived hundreds of years ago, believed in many gods. The stories of these gods, however, were written not in scarce sacred books, but in the memories of the people, for in those early days, the Teutons, living in northern Europe, had no written language. For centuries, the fathers handed down to their children the traditions they had received from former generations, until finally Christianity took place of the old religion. Even after this, the belief in gods lingered long in and out of the way places, and at last in Iceland, some of the stories about them were collected and written down. The last books in which they were written are called the Eddas. There are two of them. The elder, or Sumdu's Edda, of which consist of poems, and the younger, or Sorn Sturlution's Edda, in which is prose. Probably these stories collected in Iceland are not just like those told hundreds of years before in Europe, because things handed down by the word of mouth are sure to change in little in which generation. Still, they give us in the main and true idea of the gods our warlike forefathers believed in. The stories that follow in this book are for the most part based on Eddas. And this is the little extra thing that they put down here. They had a few characters called runes, which were supposed to possess magic properties. This is one of the runes. It's a raven. They have this in a lot of cultures. Ravens mean different things in many different cultures. Native American, they mean something good, and other cultures it probably means something bad, trickster, but this is a raven. And so right here, as you can see, this is the, what do I call it? It's called the tree. It's a tree, technically, in this mythology. This is the plane of the 9 worlds, as rebirth has been followed. So this is cross section of the 9 worlds. This is Mira's. This down here is Mira's realm. This is the world tree. Its roots connect. So I will start from the bottom to the top. So right here is Mira's realm. She is the goddess of light, I believe. Mira's land and 2 regions beside the old wise giants. There dwelt many mighty beings, among whom were Night and the ancient mother, bright day and dwelling of the elf of dawn. Over here is Nifl, the region of torture below Nifl. This is, her thing. Nifl over here, right here. Far below these stretched underworld were vast compared with regions above it, and containing 4 9 worlds. In the world north was Nifl, or Mithel, the lower giant world, cold, dark, misty. So it's the lower giant world. Urd's realm. In Urd's, the south, Urd of her two sisters ruled over the kingdoms of the dead. So they ruled over the kingdoms of the dead. As you can see here, it's the Surt's deep, fury dales below Urd's realm. This is south, north, so it kind of goes this way. So the tree, it seems to be something really weird. I don't even know how it works sometimes. Right here is a bit frosty. You'll learn sooner or later that this is a bridge over Asgard. Sorry, I got this wrong. Jotunheim. Over here is a place. The ocean. Next below Midgard, the world of men with the river, ocean. Beyond the ocean, on the same plane, was Chimple, an upper giant world. It was the upper giant world. Midgard, as you see here, would be known as technically Earth, the human race, is where men and women lived. And this is Asgard, which is above everything, so Odin himself could see over everything. It was something like that. And in Asgard, there you'll learn soon, is something called Valhalla. This is a compass for it. It actually, to me, I'm sorry, it makes absolutely no sense how the compass works sometimes. But over here, you see, I'm not going to read this because there's a lot to do, but Spring Helms Nifl or Nifl under Jörg's northern root. Jörg's is the tree. This is the tree, the realm tree. The plane from above the 9 worlds is this. So this is what the 9 worlds look like above. Well of wisdom in Mir's realm under Yild's middle root. Mir is a man, god, Nifl, lady, and he has the well of wisdom. Urd's realm in her realm under Yild's southern root. Home of Yvonne, home of elves in Mir's realm. Castle where Baldur dwelt in Azar, northern end, Bitfrost guarded by Helmdell, and southern end of Bitfrost near its realm. I'll read this part. Over here is the rest of this. There is a poem up here. I'll read this. So guys, as they finish this, we're going to finish up the introduction, and then the next part of the week we're going to go into the actual stories, but I'm going to do a whole thing on the introduction for a whole video because I want you guys to actually be pushed into it. If you're new to mythology, if you're new to any mythology, any fairy tales, and you're not someone who really likes it, and this is your first time watching it, thank you for picking me. Giving me the chance to help you. Okay. It's cold, so I'm going to like, but I hope that you guys keep watching. Keep loving these videos. It's my first time on YouTube, so don't judge me too hard. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Bye. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you know, so that way they can get the love too. Bye.